I'm gonna give y'all a couple poems. So it's weird because normally when you come here, you don't have time to like really talk to the crowd. You just get up here, do your poems, walk off. So I got the time to say something. So hi. So that's what I'm gonna do. So let's get to the poem.
Let's go, boy.
Ever since I've been able to pick up a book and turn the page, I've always questioned what I read. But there are some questions in life that you just don't want the answers to. Unless you're curious like a little monkey searching for an adventure. And because of that, I always find myself in tight spots without a man wearing a yellow hat to help me maneuver elsewhere. But I always look at this world as being an open book to possibilities. So naturally, I should be well knowledgeable in distinguishing the difference between what is fact and fiction. But facts are becoming more fabricated than the paper they are printed on. Case in point. September 11, 2001. It is stated that America suffered its first terrorist attack on its own soil by the use of airplanes. But this country doesn't want to be called a Tulsa race riots of 1921, when Americans dispatched 6 biplanes in Tulsa to drop incendiary bombs and fire rounds for the so-called Negro uprising, killing over 800 blacks. Maybe they didn't see this as terrorism, but more of a chance to burn the old crop to render it useless. Once, I stumbled across a book on medicine, and from there began to pick up the pace of how we are always racing towards a cure. Now, sure, advances have become costly over the years, but the price of life and intelligence has made it more easy. I mean, the Ohio State prison system once injected live cancer cells into inmates to find some type of results, while FDA manufactured a new drug to calm down children's mouth complaints by taking placebo, spelling it backwards, just to redistribute it as Overcall to help double their profits. I'm now starting to question the authenticity within this written scripture. So I guess it's best that I look towards a good book, because they said that in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God. And God's Word will always reign supreme, as long as it's the King James Version. No way. No, the New International one, or one of the other 50 that were produced since the original. So if the red ink I'm starting to read isn't actually coming from him, what am I to believe? How can I state these facts for America to understand when America doesn't even have an official language to comprehend? Food for thought. There are more libraries built here than McDonald's, but we're so quick to intake toxins over knowledge because we find it easier to digest. Facts have become a ninth wonder of the world, wishing it still exists, and it may sound like I'm getting high off of my own words, but that would be no different than taking a Declaration of Independence, rolling it up, and smoking it since it was written on hemp paper. Patrick Henry was asked to help draft the Constitution, but refused because he stated that he smelled a rat. Now, years later, you have more than one running around Capitol Hill while they are cutting up government cheese to feed to these low-income neighborhoods. Come to think about it, if a pro is a positive and a con is a negative, then I guess the opposite of progress should be Congress, like I said. Ever since I've been able to turn the page, I've always questioned what I read, which means it should be better to know a little more than a lot. But what can I determine now if we don't even know the difference between what is fact and fiction? Take it from here. All right. She said that she had an itch that needed to be scratched. I asked her where, and she told me her heart. Unless you give me a scalpel to open up your chest cavity, how do you expect me to give you that feeling? But with love, you can always find a way. But I should have stayed reserved. Because in our holiday, I found myself making love to a woman who was shaped like an hourglass. So when I flipped her upside down, I should have known that the time for this relationship was going to run out eventually. Never again will I 69 with the Pisces, because that just left me swimming in circles with her and her problems. See, she told me she wanted me to be the GPS to lead her back to romance. I guess those letters stood for gullible, pathetic souls. See, our connection got lost and the signal began to fade. But they say that if you like it, you should put a ring on it. And I did. And from that point, I began to destroy every Beyonce Beyonce CD that she ever owned and was glad that we never birthed a child into our destiny. George Michael said it best, that with marriage, there's a lot of give and take. When you show me that you can take, so now you have a lot of giving to do. Like, give back that halo that I placed on your finger because you destroyed the heaven that was made. How do you call yourself walking around town strutting like a beautiful swan, yet you're pigeon-toed? You seem confused by this information. This is what I'm faced with. How can I be your best man when I caught you sleeping with mine? That will explain why making love to you lately has been like throwing a hot dog down a hallway to you with that twisted staircase that I wish I never built because I tripped on you so many times. But then I thought, why would I degrade you when in truth you never made the grade to even begin with? See, you said that you had an itch that needed to be scratched. And maybe if I would have seen a poison ivy wrapped around your heart before I grasped it, I would have never got this itch to make you what you are to me today. My ex-wife. Like,
Damn, son, where did you find this?
So the purpose of this poem came from a writing prompt that was very interesting and dealt with having to think of a personal anecdote or a personal experience I went through. And yeah, so this poem has been talking.
Let them use you.
See, the fear of heights has never been the thing that scared me. It has always been the fear of something or someone failing. And if things fail, you always anticipate your emotions to crash and burn. They tell you to always be aware of your surroundings. Yet all I see around me is 11:59 p.m. during a new moon. There's 1,500 feet separating me from the earth. The only thing I have to keep me calm is humming old Negro spirituals that contain rumblings of an upset stomach that matches the turbulence, while 80 pounds of equipment latch on me like an ex telling me we're still together. The only exit strategy is in front of me, with the man signaling to leap out and let destiny decide where to carry me. I was a parachuter. Someone willing to jump into danger by parachuting into the unknown. Maybe that's when the fear began. Maybe I should blame my father, the designated jump master, the one who's supposed to inspect my upbringing before I jump into being a man. Yet I noticed how he always wished that he properly donned his condom the night I was conceived. Feeling out of control, he cut sling load on me to prep my sister on how to get rid of unnecessary cargo. The next manifest I found myself on introduced me to a woman. She claimed that we would be something that could tangibly do this for life while cleaning up our past. But how can you jump the broom when she decided to stay on the other side? Ain't it funny how falling in love can sometimes lead you to your heart being broken into pieces once it has hit rock bottom? Can't you see the depression it has left me in? Looking up to God, asking him, was people made to be broken vessels that refused to be fixed? Or was I the one that was failing them because I was never part of their manifest to begin with? And that's when it hit me. That fear came from the fact that I was always dependent on things. To be my reserve when worry and doubt was imminent. But the only reason I never descended softly was because I was meant to be the parachute to open up myself and keep safe. Failure was something that has kept people in the dark when the light to our potential has been inches away from us seeing it. This is the time for us to stop being afraid of what could go wrong and think of what could go right. For every chance to fall and survive, remember that what doesn't kill you makes you come back with a vengeance. So to my father, who left me to battle the wind, all it did was make me learn to become a better person and help my sons know that they need to be safe and not gain the wings of a coward. To be airborne is to be carried by the air or to fly. So never let anyone hold you down to their level where you are meant to be amongst the stars. The time is now, and I invite you to not be afraid to fail, because the risk of doing something gives you life, while cutting yourself short is nothing more than a quick way to suicide. So brace yourself. Walk towards that door to your blessings. Look out into the unforeseen future. And when the green light comes on, don't let fear hold you back from becoming airborne.